And here we go again, my friends. We've got another update on the whole Scream 7 situation, and things just continue to look scarier for the franchise. Heck, that's what the article is titled. So, today, The Hollywood Reporter came out with an update on the Scream 7 situation, saying it's a scary time for the Scream franchise. And basically, what they do in this article, other than just recap the events of what's been happening since November 21st, when Melissa Barrera was announced to be fired from Scream 7 because of her speaking out her opinion on the Israel-Palestine situation. Then the next day, Jenna Ortega was also revealed to not be part of the movie for scheduling conflicts. And that's one thing I want to talk about, because the article makes it again clear that apparently Melissa Barrera was fired a month before the announcement was official. So right at the beginning of her making that announcement. And they also say here that it really wasn't Jenna Ortega having scheduling conflicts because of Wednesday, but more that she was asking for a bigger payday. It says here, the A-list, thanks to her turn in Netflix series Wednesday, asked for a bigger payday for the seventh installment, demonstrating with her status. Unlike Barrera, sources say Ortega had no deal in place. So, yeah, well, we heard this before a couple of days ago, that like they only had a contract for 2 Scream movies, Scream 5 and 6, and if they were going to make a 7th one, they would have to renegotiate and then settle new pay and stuff like that. And we knew that it wasn't gonna work out, because Spyglass is stingy. They're holding on to their money a lot here. And so I really think it wasn't even because Melissa Barrera spoke out her mind and said her opinion. I just think it was Jenna Ortega asked for a payday that she deserves. She's kind of like the biggest star of the movie, drew in a lot of new people to Scream, new generation of Scream fans out there thanks to Jenna Ortega, and they were like, no, we don't want to pay you, same as we didn't want to pay Neve, so bye. And with Jenna gone, they were like, well, I don't know if we could do it with just Melissa. How about we say bye to her too and create a BS reason? Anyways, that's stuff we were all hearing, but then we get some newer information that makes it seem like Scream 7 might be a complete reboot of the entire franchise here. So, going into the article here, let me see if I can find the exact quote. So it says here, Spyglass head Gary Barber is known for his shrewd business sense, or for being cheap, depending on what side of the table you are on. Multiple sources say the studio has already lost Scream starlet Neve Campbell over a salary dispute for this year's Scream 6, with the actress saying that the time she couldn't walk on set feeling undervalued. Many predict that the film will fail without its original star, but it ended up being the biggest movie since 1996 with the original. So that's one part there that they're setting up here for you, is like a lot of people thought Scream 6 wasn't going to work without Neve Campbell, that they thought this movie would fail because it's like, well, we barely have any legacy characters. Sure, we have Gale in there, but everybody knows Sydney is the real star. And Scream 6 turned out to be one of the biggest movies in the franchise without Sydney. We thought that just goes to show you how awesome Scream is, how fans are dedicated, that as long as you give us interesting stories with characters we like and care about, we're going to show up, we're going to be there. And now it looks like because of the success of Scream 6, fans are kind of getting punished for it a little bit, because it gave these studio heads an inflated ego, where it says here, Barber's apparent takeaway is that neither stars need large salaries or are essential. He didn't need Neve. He doesn't need Jenna, says one insider. Oh, guy, I don't like the sound of that. And then the article ends off here. While some insiders say the situation is in shambles and very raw, it may not be as dire as it seems. Scream has always had interchangeable villains behind the mask, ensemble cast, and certain legacy characters. Another reboot will not fatally stab the franchise. That right there, that's the statement going crazy. Another reboot will not fatally stab the franchise. To me, this article is making it sound like Neve is not coming back. Neve already has a bad taste in their mouth with Spyglass because they didn't want to pay her what she was worth for Scream 6. Now that they only want to pay her because she's like the last big draw to the franchise to get people to come back, Neve might honestly say no. And it sounds here like Spyglass, They might not even want to pay Neve what she's worth here. They don't see her as a like, oh, we need Neve now or else we're not going to get anybody. The quote literally said here, he didn't need Neve. He doesn't need Jenna, says one insider. They're not even going to try and offer Neve Campbell what she's worth. They're not going to try and bribe her with a big old truck of money going, please come back. We need you. They're like, Scream 6 made all the money without the legacy character, the main star of the show, and it made buckets. I can do that again. The only reason I think Scream 6 did good is because, one, you were showing us a different kind of Scream movie. That trailer with Ghostface cocking a shotgun, shooting people in the grocery store, attacking, that was fresh. That was different from the franchise. We were like, okay, this is new. This is exciting. And also, the main takeaway people like from Scream 6, they love the core four. At least most people do. I would say 90 to 80%. They walked away going, yeah, I love Neve. I love Gale. I love Dewey. I like these guys. These are awesome. I can't wait to follow them. And now, gone. They're out of the franchise, and they feel like they don't need to pay them. Scream 7 is going to go into a complete reboot, it looks like, unless they get Neve back and they try and continuing the story. But it's like, could that work? Would that make sense? There was also another line in here where there was like, tickets neither the stars. Hang on, say, image of focus, but with the actors gone, it was saying here that with an ensemble cast and certain legacy characters. I don't know how much they're paying, like Courtney Cox. She's definitely someone that doesn't need the money. The woman is like swimming in that Friends, rerun check money. She's doing quite well for herself. To me, it always seems like Courtney Cox does the Scream movies because she just likes it. She has fun. She met her husband on that set. Well, her once husband, ex-husband now, David Arquette and all that. She's friends with Neve. Like, it feels like she just likes being part of it, and she's okay maybe not getting paid as much because she's like, I'm already in buckets of money. I don't need that much. From that statement here in the article saying ensemble cast and certain legacy characters, another reboot will not fatally stab the franchise. It could honestly be a reboot where the only connection to the linear story going on is Gale. And she's easy to insert into any new story. Let's say they just start with some new teenagers back in Woodsboro in some other town, another Ghostface copycat. Gale's going to be on the scene after the first kill. Anytime there's a Ghostface killer out there, Gale's a reporter. She's made their character, her fictional living off Ghostface reportings, books, movie deals, all that kind of stuff. It's so easy to get Gale inserted in there and to be the one legacy character involved, even if Neve doesn't want to be there, because again, she's like, well, I got to report on it. I got to be around it. So insert her in there. It's just a bad taste in my mouth with Spyglass and what they did here and how stingy they're being as a company. Like, you're acting like Scream didn't make all that money in the world, man. Like, okay, let's look at the box office here and like act like these numbers aren't like giving you room to be a little free with your money. I mean, the movie was made on a budget of what? The budget was, it's not saying here, but the budget I believe was like $25 million for Scream 6. Movie made $168 million worldwide. Scream 5, let's see what that was. Scream 5. That one also did really well at the box office. That one was also made on $15 million, I believe. And that $137 million. Like, they are making a lot of money, these movies. Plenty of profit, plenty of room in there. And Spyglass doesn't want to share the wealth. It just comes off feeling a little like dirty and nasty. And at the end of the day, I know it's a business and this is how they stay in business, not just giving away the money to the people. But it's like, apparently, like, they didn't even want to pay Jenna Ortega over the 7-figure mark, meaning like $1 million. And I know that's a lot of money for a lot of people out there in terms of Hollywood stars getting paid. $1 million pay is almost nothing, to these stars. They were trying to pay her under the 6-figure mark, so like $800,000, $900,000, which would be a huge undersell to Jenna Ortega, Melissa Barrera, a lot of these stars in there. It doesn't seem right to me. But going back on just like the actual Scream 7 getting completely rebooted, you'd have to pull out some crazy story for me to be interested. There is a part of me, putting the drama aside and not looking at the company and how disgusted I feel by them, there is like some excitement in me and just like starting fresh because we have a new director in there, Christopher Landon. So now that he's going to have like a clean slate basically and can do whatever, create any character, any reason, any new story for why there would be a copycat targeting random people, that's kind of exciting in there. You don't have to be that hinged on to what the last two directors were doing and finish off the arc of Sam and Tara, although that's what I'd much rather see. Have their arc finish, meet their mom, see how they conclude this trilogy. Because, yeah, Scream 8, that's when I would have loved a reboot. Have brand new people, let those last three movies of those characters sail off into the sunset, be happily forever after. That's like always the beauty of Scream, right? It could literally be about anybody as long as there's some minor connection to maybe Sydney or the original people. There's always a reason for someone to get in a Ghostface costume and dress up, but this abrupt reason just doesn't feel that right to me. So that's the update we have going on right now. This article is really painting a picture that Neve doesn't want to come back. Spyglass is stingy with their money, and because of that, it would be so much cheaper for them to get a cast of maybe like two well-known actors that are like rising up right now, and the entire rest of the cast be, unknowns and stuff like that, cannon fodder and some BS reason. But it feels way too early to do a reboot for Scream 7, and reboot in terms of just starting fresh with new characters. There needs to be like a 5-year wait minimum for like a reboot. Like it took us 10 years in between Scream 3 to 4 and then 4 to 5, like 10-year gaps. Now you're going to reboot it within like a 2-year gap? Come on now. I don't know. So we'll see, man. I'll keep y'all updated on the Scream 7 situation, but this is what we got going on right now.